All right, this key is absolutely insane. I actually managed to finish a pit plus 22. And this is probably one of the smoothest pit runs that I've ever had. And it was still insanely close. We will go over the entire run. I will commentate as usual. I will tell you when to press your defensives, when to press your offensives, what I did in certain scenarios, what I thought about in certain scenarios, and let's just jump straight into it. So before we begin, these are the talents, and as you can see, I opted out of Purge because we just simply don't need any purges in this run, but I took the Cleanse, and that's simply because you have one curse that you can cleanse off of everybody else that deals massive ticking damage and puts the heal absorb on you. So I always take it in pit just to help out the healer whenever I feel like they can't keep up with the healing and the purges and stuff. I just usually also purge myself, so healer doesn't have to, right? And the point that I took away from purge, I just put into the second point of the capacitor totem cooldown reduction that you can see right here. It's also worth to mention that this is a fully pugged run. The only pre-mate, if you can say, is the tank, who watches my streams and is nice enough to invite me to his own keys, which this is one of them. But if you want to call that being carried, I mean, I guess I'm getting carried, but I think I performed really well, and I don't think he would invite me just to break his keys. So we start the timer, and right before the timer hits 0, or right before the timer hits 1, I guess, we press Ascendance just to get the buff that gives us 10 Maelstrom stacks. Just gives us a little bit of a damage boost at the beginning. The Tempest proc, unfortunately, goes away once the key starts. I don't know why, but I guess it would be too broken. But yeah, that's what we do. We kick the caster right here in the back. So it walks towards us, DK kicks it, we use our usual rotation. We Bloodlust, we send everything, we do insane blasting, and focus on the Dreadpulse Lich, because this guy deals massive damage, AoE and single target, and you just want him dead as quickly as possible. I have one focus target on one of the Gloombound shards, I think they're called, the caster skeleton guys. You just shut them down completely, and once your Ascendance / Doomance usually runs out, you can put down your Capacitor Totem. But in this case, I don't think I did, because the mobs were already dead. We had insane damage, as I said. So we already got past here without me having to stun anything, but that means I have it for the next pull. Here, you can either focus on the Cadaver, which will definitely wipe you if you don't kick the cast, or you just take down the Gloombound Shard again. And here you can either, there's a lot of targets you can focus. Some people focus the Gargoyle, others focus the Death Whisper guy. In this case, I just focused on the Gloombound Shard. You shouldn't do that. You can just shut this guy down and just rather focus the Necromancer or the Plunge Talon Gargoyle. Spirit Walk. Spirit Walk? Yeah, I do have Spirit Walk, right? Oh. Now in this pack, you should always focus down with your kicks one of the cadavers, but in this case, I think everyone else just took care of it, so I focus on pure damage on the Graveblade. Graveblade deals just massive damage to the tank. You just want him gone as quickly as possible, and he's also the most dangerous mob in this pack right here. So You just focus them down. You kite around because these rotting ghouls, I think they're called, they spew shit on the floor, and sometimes the Graveblade just stands still in those pools for a few seconds. Really annoying to fight this pool, and you just have to make sure that first off you don't get stuck in this little hill right here, which also happens, and you just make sure that you don't greed for damage on the Graveblade and die standing in the pools. So if it ever is the case where the Graveblade just stands inside these pools, you just stay away, attack something else. The chains will probably jump onto him anyway, the chain lightnings, and once he's out you can change your target again and focus that guy down. But this pool is really difficult, not because you're an enhancement, but because you're melee. It's just a really annoying fight. The terrain is annoying, the pools on the floor are annoying, the gargoyle sometimes just grabs you the second a pool gets dropped beneath you and you still take damage. You have the curse that you need to take care of. It's just a really, really annoying pack. This is probably my least favorite pack of the entire dungeon, right? I'm nervous shit. It does? Okay, so I just genuinely always use it on when it's on cooldown then. That's cool. This is another fun pull. The tank here delays the pulls a little bit, but he's gonna pull the Dread Pulse Lich as well. Probably just waiting for cooldowns, honestly. And once he does that, you just focus on the Dread Pull Lich. You blast everything, use a puzzle box, Ascendant, Sundering, all of it, and focus on the Dread Pulse Lich. As I said, one of the most dangerous mobs in this entire dungeon. I didn't press Sundering here because I think there was a delay, like that little bug. If you guys play Enhancement Shaman, you should probably know about it, where you press your Sundering, but it just doesn't register. That's why I didn't press it, but you should press it right here to make use of your haste buff that you get for 15 seconds or 12 seconds. And just focus on the Dread Pulse Lich, right? Use your Capacitor Totem whenever it's up, just to help out the tank and the healer so they don't take unnecessary damage. And stunning them also allows the tank to kite a little bit to replenish some health and to like restabilize. Your kick, TP, and SW should get you out of every tentacle. Okay. Wait, why should my kick get me out? Oh, tentacle you mean? Yeah. Tentacle, yes. This pull is one of the weaker pulls for Enhancement Shaman. Unless you get an insane amount of Doomwind's procs, you won't be dealing any like meaningful damage here. Some people use their Ascendance here, but I honestly prefer it on the boss. You should also always be aware of the debuff these guys put on you, the little frost slowing damage dealing dot with the skeleton icon. You can remove it with your shapeshift, so your like Spirit Wolf or Spirit Walk, and I guess Jetstream too. And you should always do that because it's unnecessary damage. The healer dies here, unfortunately, because he gets hit by the frontal, I think. But we revive him, we stun the ads just so tank and healer can restabilize again. We focus on the dragon. We chain pull into these. Here I decide to pull my Ascendants because I was like, I mean, okay, there's a lot of mobs going. I didn't align my Sundering, as you can see, because I didn't expect him to pull this pack, but we did, and I decided to use Ascendants beforehand, not min-maxing my damage, unfortunately, but it's completely fine as long as we can get these packs down. Now, this tech is probably known for everyone that's pushing keys. You just in-cap the main guy, the Death Whisper guy, and chain pull the soldiers and the cadaver. These soldiers and cadavers can't die as long as the main guy is alive, who, as you know, is in-capped down below the stairs outside of the boss fight. And this just gives us free cleave damage, free AoE, like bonus damage, right? And our specs really profit from cleave damage. DK does, Devourer does, monks do for healing, right? They can just spam spinning crane kick to heal, and enhancement does anyway. Chain lightnings jump all over the place and give you free bonus damage. Druids also generate more rage doing this, so all in all, just a tech that I would always recommend people doing, even in lower keys. Boss doesn't really live that long in lower keys, but it's still worth nonetheless. We press Ascendance here. Or, I mean, we get Doomans here. I'm sorry. We wait for Ascendance until Bloodlust is up. What's happening? Why am I dying? Why do I always get Doomwinds when I get targeted by those rocks? Now the in-cap obviously runs out, but as you can see on the corner of the arena, we in-cap them again. There is no DR on that, I believe, unless it starts on the third one, but optimally you won't need the third one. You will just let him come to the group and cleave him down over time, and by the time the boss is dead, the guy will also be dead, so all in all, just easy. During these Glacial Overload casts, you don't have to press any defensives, but once this guy uses Cryo Stomp, always use a defensive whenever you have it up. Either Astral Shift or just your Earth Elemental. Even that helps. In this case, this is one of the rare cases where Earth Elemental actually helps you survive a little bit more. I don't think it will ever kill you, the Cryo Stomp, but there is some unfortunate scenarios where you might get hit or might misposition and then you just die to some stupid stuff because you ended up being 1 HP after the Cryo Stomp. So whenever you can, press your defensives. Maybe use one global to use one healing surge, and then you should be good to go, right? As you can see, I didn't press any defensives here. I think the healer took over, and it didn't really deal any necessary damage, but there's no other scenario where you would press defensives anyway, so why not press it here, right? I'm sorry that I'm not reading chat a lot, but I'm kind of locked into this key. Fuck my inner clock completely. I think it takes a day or two. Yeah, you should do a hard reset. Stay awake for an entire day. Okay. So here, as you can see, I use my jet stream to remove the dot on me and the other player that got hit with it. And tank kept pulling, so I decided to use my ascendance here. Usually we pull the dragons with the pull right next to them, with the cadaver guy and the caster. but we decided to chain pull the Dread Pulse Lich and the Dragon, so I decided would be a good time to use my Ascendants. And as you can see, I am absolutely going crazy with the damage, going ballistic, as some might say. And I focused on the Lich, finish off the caster, and start focusing the Graveblade. The Dragon isn't really the difficult part here, and Dragon doesn't really do anything, honestly. It just has this annoying little frontal that requires you to reposition, but the Graveblade actually hurts the tank, and if the tank is dead, everyone else is dead. So help out the tank by focusing down the Graveblade, always. I'm not gonna decurse during my Ascendants, but outside of that I usually do. Okay. Yeah, man, we're pumping today. They call me Professor Dr. Pump. They don't, but now they do. When I time this 22. On this pull, we also get very, very lucky Tempest and Doomwind's procs too. So I think there was a Doomwind's proc at least. So that is also why our damage is not in the gutters. I cleanse myself here to help out the healer, because he, first of all, isn't here. He was getting the like enslaved guys free, right, in the back. And since he wasn't here, I needed to cleanse myself, otherwise I would have died here. This fight is really, really great to have a Shaman for, right? Shamans have the shortest cooldown kick in the game, and I also think the longest range, or I mean, one of the longest range. So they can focus down the Crick main cast for the entire fight. You don't need anyone else to kick it. You can always make sure that the kick doesn't go through. By the time the next kick starts, by the time the next cast starts, your kick will be back up again. So you can just shut down the entire ad right there, or the boss, until the echoes are dead. You can also cleanse the echoes beam on you when like it's cast on you, right? Or you can use Spirit Walk, one of the two, or Spirit Wolf and Jetstream. All of those work to remove the beam. I would also recommend you to do that, because it does fat damage, and once you remove it, the echoes will just stand there for a few seconds, do nothing, basically kicking the ads, right? So whenever you can, always cleanse it, and cleanse it off your teammates too. Jetstream them off your teammates, and just help them out, help the healer out, save some mana, and don't let them do any unnecessary healing, right? Here, always respect the boss. Don't try to like max range kite them, because it will go bad. As you can see here, I cleanse the beam off and press the defensive before that, but I shouldn't have. I should also cleanse the DK here, but the monk takes care of it. And we kill one of the shades, go over to the next shade, kill that one. As you can see, it didn't do anything for a few seconds, since we basically kicked the ad, right? And I made sure to take care of Crick's cast, because if Crick's cast goes through, whoever's targeted will be dead. No matter if you press a defensive or not, this bolt will blast you to space, honestly. Here, to prevent you from losing damage on this fight, you can also wait for your Ascendants, or wait pressing your Ascendants until you get targeted. As you can see, I probably do it right here. Exactly. I am still using my Ascendants for a little bit, But if I use it a little bit later, I could have dealt damage still while getting targeted. It's just a little min-max thing. Doesn't really lose you a lot of damage, but if you don't want to like run away doing nothing because you don't get chain lightning resets, you can just use Ascendance whenever you get targeted. Makes it a little bit easier. Plus, in general, on this fight, always use chain lightning because those are 2 mobs, right? It's not one boss. Some people I've seen use lightning bolt on Ick/Crick, but those are 2 bosses, right? And you can chain lightning them to deal double damage basically, because you're gonna hit both of them. Here I take care of the death bolts again. Just my job. I think the DH also kicks a few times. Makes my life a little bit easier, but he doesn't have to. I think he even asked at the beginning of the key if I can just take care of it. I said yes, but he probably didn't trust me, which can't blame him. It's a bug, right? And here you should just make sure to not stand in the puddles and stay away from the boss when the fixation thing runs off and you might be the next target, right? Because I've seen a bug where the boss instantly attacks you, even the cast is not done yet. So I think it happened to me once, so it's not really a big bug or known bug, right? But it happened to me once and wouldn't want you to die because of that, right? Alright, boss is dead. We squeeze ourselves through this little gap right here. Try not to pull the plunge talon. Gargoyle. In your mic? Game louder than you? Is it? Is my game louder than me, chat? Alright, all of it is dead except one Graveblade, and then we just put it to the next pull. We start focusing down the Dreadpool's Lich though, even though the Graveblade is almost dead, it will just get cleaved down over time. But the Graveblade or the Lich is just way more dangerous, so we decide on putting that guy's life to an end. And as I said multiple times in this run, use Capacitor Totem whenever you can. Unless these leaping guys are dead, then you don't have to anymore because you can't stun the Graveblades and the Liches, so pretty useless using them here. But as long as the Geists are alive, you just stun them so they don't hop around and you don't lose any damage. And then once Lich is dead and the low HP Graveblade is dead, we put this Graveblade into the next pull. And here it's important that you shut down the Rhinebone caster guy as much as you can, especially when you decide to pull the mini boss with it, who just puts the entire cave into ice, right? With his one cast. And if the caster stands inside of this ice, you just can't really get it out again unless you have a DK gripping it or have a ranged kick kicking it. So I decide to focus on the caster first before I go over to the boss, just so it wouldn't annoy us anymore. And then you just focus on the boss, the mini boss. Just make sure you don't attack him from the front when he's doing this focused guard thing, because if you do, I think it does AoE damage too, so he will blow up your entire team. We don't want that, right? Always make sure to drop or dodge the icicles that are falling down during the fight, and put the cryo burst just close to the previous cryo bursts so you don't fill up the arena unnecessarily. Or you just put them into the corner, in one corner with the entire team. So that requires a little bit more coordination though. So I use the safe bet or the safe route and put it down where the previous cryo burst also was. Now this positioning was kind of bad by me, and the rest of the team wasn't really coordinated, and I couldn't really get out of there because on my way there were like icicles falling down, and if I was unlucky, those icicles could hit my head while I'm flying towards the boss with a feral lunge. So I just decided to wait. And as you can see, we had an almost clean run, and we were constantly late or behind in time, and we only have 4 minutes 45 seconds for this boss left. It is a pretty tight run and a pretty tight timer in these high key levels. Even if you do everything right. And here I just try to get hit, or try to hit the boss while freezing these little corpses, but I couldn't really manage to. Here, this boss is really difficult for melees in general, right? We get a lucky Doomwinds here. I decide to not use my Sundering because there will be the intermission soon where we will use Ascendant, Sundering, and Bloodlust. So I want every one of those things up. And I didn't know if it was 30 seconds or if I had enough time to use one Sundering. And I don't think it would have been enough, right? So I use my puzzle box while the guy is casting it. I focused on the focus marker, the caster, try to shut him down completely. If you can't manage to kill the caster before he does this, or the dragon starts spewing ice on the floor, you should always try to keep your kick. So if you are the only ranged kick in the group, the cast can't go off, right? So you can kick it while you guys are running away. Otherwise, when it's standing in front of those icicles and you don't have a ranged kick up anymore, you might just die because the cast goes through, right? I decided to take care of this far one because there was nothing else close and it wouldn't have made a difference anyway. So I took away the far one, the most annoying one, so we wouldn't have to deal with it anymore. And as you can see, we only have 2 minutes 50 left, 54% on the boss. It will be very, very tight. As you can see, it is very difficult to like time this key. But we somehow managed to do this first try, by the way. This didn't take multiple tries. Me and Feathers actually went crazy. These were the first keys that we timed together, even though we played for a long time. But I mean, my heart was racing the entire time. And here you can also use your capacitor totem to stun the ads and make sure to, as you can see, kick the caster so it doesn't keep casting during the like dragon bombing thingy. And here I was kind of contemplating on whether or not to use Ascendance here, but I don't think I did because I wanted to make sure that the next set of ads would die as a reward, we get a lucky Doomwinds proc, so I'll take that. Couldn't really use it a lot because we had to run away from the circles, but as a reward, we get another one. So this last fight really blessed me with a lot of Doomwinds procs, right? And my theory was right. I did the right thing by not using my Ascendance here, so we can blast the ads really, really quickly using my puzzle box right here. And the capacitor totem was a little bit early. I could have waited for the ads to come here because, as you can see, I pull aggro off of everything, but Feathers is a beast and manages to get them off of me. At least some of them. The caster is still on me, but the caster doesn't really do a lot unless it starts casting, right? We blow everything up. We profit off of the insane cleave and get top DPS, and as a reward we get another Doomwinds. And we finish off the boss with, I think, 15 seconds left. I ignore the mechanic right here just to keep pumping damage, right? I use my health pot. I didn't use my health pot, but should have used my health pot just to be sure. And as you can see, 17 seconds left, only one death, and honestly solid DPS. This timer is very tight. Anyways, if you guys want to take coaching lessons of me, check out my Patreon. There you will find anything you need to request a coaching session from me, from yours truly, about Enhancement Shaman gameplay. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel to not miss any more, and check out my Twitch whenever I'm live. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.